And we're back. Welcome back to the Buzz Pod. The boys are back after a great season of hockey. Our off seasons are just kicking off, and with that, our first episode back for the Buzz Pod. Z man,
Let's go, baby.
energy guy. Z man, a great season for you. Your third full season with the Toronto Marlies. And I mean, in a lot of ways, did your thing, did your damage. I watched a lot of your games. It was fun to watch. And a new opportunity arises for you in the DEL, heading overseas to Germany. We're gonna get some BuzzPod merch overseas. That'll be awesome. Maybe some German guests in the near future. But just talk about, a quick little recap of a good season and then the decision to take the families overseas, taking my talents to Germany.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. A great season it was. Um, First, I would like to just thank Toronto, um, the Marlies organization, bringing me and my family in, taking care of us like world-class organization. Um, give you all the tools you need to develop. And at the end of the day, a minimum here is you're gonna develop and you're gonna get better. And yeah, like you said, new opportunity over in Germany in Mannheim. My family and I are so excited about it. Sid is fired up. The girls are fired up. It's going to be great, man. I see the videos of the building and the place is absolutely rocking. So just some more energy to feed off of, and man, ready to get at it. Quick summer, quick
Quick
summer.
summer, quick turnaround. That's the thing people don't realize is when you play in the US and then sign in Germany, the summer's real quick. I mean, it's
Real
like about
quick.
two and a
Yeah.
half months, right?
Yeah. So time to get to work.
Time to get to work, baby. Yeah,
Hey,
I love
and
that.
great season for you, Blatch. Assistant captain with the Iowa Heartlanders, and then called up and played your first American League games this season. Congratulations. That's a tough barrier to break through as a guy on an ECHL deal to get called up and earn the right to play in the American League. So, congrats to you. Talk about that experience.
Oh man, amazing. Thank you, by the way. It's just like, bro, you're working towards this for 5 years, and all the time you feel like you're getting closer. Sometimes you feel like you're getting further, but you really never really know. And then you get that call, and it's just like that little, just that it wasn't even little, just that big validation that you're doing the right things, and that quote of like all it takes is hard work, patience, and then more hard work. Like it couldn't be more true because people work hard and then they're patient and then they're like, why isn't this happening? But no, it's work hard, be patient, and then work harder,
Yeah.
So it takes time, man. And yeah, before I was kind of a guy who says like you got to be patient and it takes time and then good things will happen. And so for it to actually happen, it's amazing. And it's just like you get a little taste, you want the full thing now. So just more motivation, more fuel to the fire for sure. And yeah, unlike you, I plan on staying in the US, but we have no idea where we're going right now. Free agency, baby.
Nice, nice. It's the sweepstakes, Blashman sweepstakes. But
Yes, sir.
hey, the highlight of your season and my season are actually the same thing. You welcomed your son Theo, and I welcomed my daughter Brinley mid-season. Both had babies during the season.
That's right. And I recommend that if you're a hockey player, you try to plan your babies for the off season.
Yeah, I missed way too many games. Actually, funny story. The team went on a road trip, and Sid was a any day. So I stayed back. I missed 6 games on the road trip. And she didn't have the baby when the team was on the road. So I'm like, oh man, when is this baby coming? And we actually had a game November 16th at Scotiabank Arena at 2 p.m. And Brinley was born at 8 a.m. on November 16th. And I remember the GM asking me if I'm going to be able to play. And I said, I want to play. And he said, if you get the okay from your wife to play, then you can play. Hey, Sid, can I go play? Smiling and like shaking her head. She's like, yeah, you can go play. And So I bounced from the hospital, went and played, and scored the tying goal with like a minute left in the game.
I remember watching that game. Yeah, man, that's freaking crazy. You played a game the day your daughter was born.
Uh, uh, Unbelievable, man. I got the best wife in the world, and it was a sweet experience, man. My teammates were the best, man. They're just
Well, it's
so
so
supportive.
easy to grind a hockey game after watching your wife grind that.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely nothing, man. You'll run through a brick wall after seeing that.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing to do before a game if you want to get fired up. Just watch your wife give birth.
Cheat code, man.
All right, well, we're gonna send it over to our first guest, and that is none other than William Rousseau. William Rousseau, for those who don't know, has a grandfather, Bobby Rousseau, who has 4 Stanley Cups to his name. Will grew up in Quebec. He played his youth hockey in Quebec, played his junior hockey for the Quebec Ramparts under Patrick Waugh, won the Memorial Cup with the Quebec Ramparts, and later went on to sign his first pro deal with the Iowa Heartlanders, where he played this season, led them to their first playoff berth, and also secured his first American League deal in the middle of the season. So we're going to send it over to my boy Roos. Here we go. There he,
Buenos amigos,
there he is.
how you doing?
Roos, bro. Are you going golfing right now?
No, I'm actually naked, but I got my polo on top here, so yeah.
Let's go, baby. This is my boy Z, Zach Solo.
What up, Bruce?
Nice to meet you.
You too, brother.
Zach was with Toronto Marlies this year. He's heading to Germany next year. But Roos, this is gonna be short and sweet, bro. Like I told you, it's I'm so happy to see your face here on camera. It's beautiful. It's been too long.
Before you got on, Blatch is like, yeah, man, this guy, he's the kind of guy when you see his face, you just start smiling and laughing.
Yeah, I get that
It's
a
true.
lot.
It's true. It's true. He likes to have fun. So, Roos,
Yeah.
we're gonna get started like this, man. You grew up in Quebec. You played your youth hockey in Quebec. You played your junior hockey in Quebec. You won the Memorial Cup with the Quebec Ramparts under Patrick Waugh, which we will get into in a bit. But just talk about like growing up in Quebec and kind of just being close to home for your whole entire career and obviously until this year.
Yeah, right. I mean, as a Quebec guy, you're always introduced to hockey a bit faster than anyone else, I feel like. My grandpa played a lot of games in the NHL, so right away, my dad wanted me to put myself into some skates in Quebec. So started in a little town near my hometown of Trois-Rivières, which the Lion won the conference champion. So it's that town right there. And yeah, just started there and then played midget AAA in my hometown, which is just under junior, and then went junior 3 years in Quebec Rempart. On my last year over there, my third year, won the junior title with the team in playoffs, and then Memorial Cup afterwards. So yeah, pretty great years in juniors, and hockey junior in Quebec is something special, and I'm pretty honored to play in it for sure.
Yeah, and I mean you played for Patrick Waugh too, and you're a goalie. But actually I do have a question I didn't write down here. Your grandpa was a right winger, right? He won 4 Stanley Cups. So like why did you become a goalie?
Right. I mean, like you always do that little cycle when you're younger. When you play as a goal, you play as a four, you play as a D, and just one time it just happened and it clicked when I was in net. And when you're all alone in net and you're facing pucks and you can't make the difference by yourself, it's just clicked in my head, and I felt like, yeah, I want to play that position for sure, even though my grandpa played as a right winger. But yeah, daddy wasn't very happy with that because the cost of equipment went up a bit. But yeah, it was pretty nice.
Hey, talk about winning the Mem Cup and that experience.
Yeah, cycles junior is a 4 year cycle. I had the chance to be in that cycle for 3 years, and the third year we had the team to go there. And all the process starts in the beginning, and then at the end results is so much special, and you just bond with those guys too. I mean, the chemistry we had going through the playoffs, and then get a little break, 1 week break, and then hopping on a plane to Kamloops, uh, which there was hosting the Mem Cup over there, and playing on the Mem Cup. And actually, my grandfather won the Mem Cup too, and his brother too won the Mem Cup. So I had some family already on the Mem Cup, and I wanted to put my name up there. So it was some good motivation for me to get my name up there with them for sure.
Sounds like winning the Mem Cup is genetic in your family.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
What about this season, Roos? I mean, it's your first pro season, your first time playing anywhere other than Quebec, and you're going all the way to the middle of the US to Iowa. Just talk about your experience, man. Like, not only, coming out of junior, you had a great junior career, you signed a coast deal. But man, like you seem like you had a great mindset, even though maybe a person that had such a great junior career would be wanting more. Just talk about, not only your first season in the US away from home, but also like signing that ECHL deal, what your mindset was like going into Iowa.
Yeah, I had a pretty good mindset. Honestly, I really think as a goalie, once you're in the system, once you're in an organization and you do your thing, I think good things can happen to you. So, uh, I mean, I had my contract, my coast contract, and I was still training hard. I was going on the ice doing all the good stuff in the summer. I was really motivated for sure. And then in September, early September, I received a call from my agent telling me, "Will, pack your bags. You're flying in 2 or 3 days. You're going to the Minnesota Wild hockey camp. The not the rookie camp, the real camp afterwards." So got that call, got a surprise for that, and just took it as a chance. Has a little door open, and I just went there. I showed them what I got. Freddie Shabbat, the goalie coach over there, I know him pretty well. He lives quite nearby from here, where I live right now in Quebec. But yeah, I mean, had a good 2 week over there. Got some experience with some older guys and some pretty good hockey players for sure. And then after that 2 week, went down into the American League, started the season over there. Played my first game, the second game versus Winnipeg, went pretty good. So yeah, just proving them wrong is something that I like doing throughout the years. Always kind of been in those position a bit with a couple teams. So and then all the season that went on with in Coralville in the coast. I really loved the group we had. I think we had a pretty solid group that got myself more included and like facilitated my pro career, my learning curve a bit more. So I was really lucky to have that for sure. And then it's a learning curve too. I mean, you're all alone in their apartment. You got one roommate that maybe is a bit younger. I got Will Caverly, which is a great guy. So I got him to learn on him a bit how to take care of yourself in the apartment. But yeah, I just love my pro career. My first year was pretty nice.
Yeah, man. And it seems like, some people might think you're kind of spacey and you're in space sometimes, but it seems like you really like when it comes to hockey, you're a very smart man because, you had such a great junior career, you signed a coast deal, and it's almost like the mindset of a 10-year vet that knows how the pro hockey works. Like, I don't need an American League deal or show deal right now, especially for goalies. You're absolutely right. Like all I have to do is get in the system. It almost seems like you signed that coast deal and you weren't worried or felt like you were missing out on a better deal. You were just kind of like, boom, I got my foot in the door. I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm gonna show these guys that I'm a gamer and they're gonna eventually see it. And you were very confident in that. And that's exactly what you did, bro. And just talk about that. Not only, yeah, you started the year up there and came down on a coast deal, which is great and unique. But you signed an AHL deal when you were on the bus with the fellas. It was after a game. It was pretty late. And bro, remember I was telling you, I think the day before I said to you on the bus, I said, bro, how have they not signed you yet? Like anyone,
Like,
bro, it was the day before. I said to you, I don't understand how the Iowa Wild haven't signed you yet because now anyone can sign you. Like, are people calling you? Remember, I literally asked you this the day before, and then the next day after the game, he gets a call on the bus. He's like, "I just signed a two-way for this year, one way for next year, right?"
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, pretty special feeling for sure on the bus with the fellas talking to you, just playing cards. Then your agent calls, and then the GM calls from Iowa, and yeah, well, we really like your game, and we really have see some potential in you. So just knowing that some people out there is seeing my game and seeing the results come in, it's pretty nice. So yeah, signing that contract for next year obviously motivates me again more. It's like another little door that I like to explore and then do my stuff over there. And yeah, really looking forward for next season. But yeah, it was pretty special. It was after my second AHL game, I believe, versus Milwaukee, which is like I played pretty solid in Milwaukee that game, and then got sent down. Played in Wichita, I believe, and then we went back, and then that's where I received the call. And I think we were playing Schneider's on the car on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty nice.
Awesome. Awesome. Probably one of the cooler things I got to see in my pro career so far in terms of like seeing a young guy get that call like right next to me on the bus. Like it's a pretty special experience even for me, just to see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sick, Roos. What's a day-to-day looking like for you this summer to get ready for next season?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty busy honestly. I just started getting on the ice already. Started yesterday, so going through the other weeks that are coming up, it's gonna be training in the morning, off ice, just a little training there, and then going on the ice 3 times per week. So usually it's the Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I actually fly airplanes as a pastime. So I build up my hours there. And in the summer, I fly a lot. So every uh, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 to 4 p.m., I'm out there flying the skies and then just building up my hours and hopefully getting my uh, all my license done. So when I retire, I can like go that route and work a bit more.
That
Uh,
is so sick.
yeah.
Where does that interest come from?
Uh, No one in my family is a pilot, no, nothing. So I don't know. I guess taking I had the chance to take the airplane when I was younger with my parents. So probably the click was right there. But I just love like how the atmosphere works, how the weather is created, and then how the machines work, the
Hey,
little piston engine and craft. It's pretty
Z,
nice.
he's got a simulator in his like I guess his house for sure, but like where we were living in our apartments, he had a simulator. So he would be chilling for a couple hours, just flying the plane. He'll put it like on a certain setting where he doesn't even have to touch it. It's just flying. But he likes
Autopilot?
Autopilot,
but he likes
right?
yeah, autopilot, I guess, yeah. But he likes just chilling there and like flying his simulator.
That's unbelievable. The closest I
Yeah.
ever got to flying a plane was when I was like 8 years old, walking onto the airplane. You like the captain would let you look in the cockpit and like let you look at all the buttons before you go sit in the back.
Hey, Roos, I'm not too sure. I think I'd need a couple drinks to get on a plane and let you fly me around, though.
Yeah, there's no drinks on my flight as of right now though.
No, I'm gonna pregame it just to feel like not so scared
Pre-game it.
while you're
Yeah,
flying. But
that'll be
also if you're ever hitting the city in Montreal from Troyes, just scoop me up. I'm in the West Island.
yeah,
Uh,
sure. Right
uh,
in Dorval, just land over there and then you'll hop on.
yeah, how do you have access to a plane? You have one?
I do not. I rent from a school in Quebec. So the school that I've been doing my license for 4 years, rent some planes over there. It's they got some Cessnas 172Rs, which is some pretty recent airplanes. We're talking about 1990 airplanes, which is pretty recent in the aviation world. And then I'm going to do my double engine license qualification. That's got to be in midsummer, and we got a nice little Diamond 40. So yeah, they got some pretty good aircraft over there.
Roos, how much is it to rent a plane?
To about 200 Canadian. So
200 Canadian for the day?
yeah, for the hour.
For the hour. Okay, okay.
Yeah, so
That's not bad at all.
170, yeah, US, something like
That's
that.
cheaper than an
That's not
hour of
bad at
ice
all.
time.
That's great.
You
That's
got to pay the gas. You got to pay. There's a couple of airport fees that when you land, you got to pay. And when you park the aircraft too at some FBOs, you got to pay too sometimes. So it adds up.
yeah, yeah.
Right on. That's sick. But Roos, I got to ask you this. When I was doing the research on you, I'm like, wow, this guy's a stud. He's tearing it up all the way through. Looking at your numbers, looks like you were a World Junior snub and that you got left off the team. And I wanted to ask you, how was that feeling and how did you use that as fuel?
Yeah, I it was my I was 19 years old, so it was the year we won the Mem Cup and everything that I got invited for the World Juniors for Team Canada. And there was three goalies: Thomas Milic, great goalie, and then Ben Gaudreau, obviously a great goalie too. And the Brennan, we were four goalies. Brennan in New Jersey too was invited. He's from the West, but
Tyler Brennan?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Yeah. So we were going. I was going through camp. I never went to another. Usually they do a camp in the summer and stuff, but I never got invited there. And I had a pretty good season start in Quebec in the queue, so they just invited me directly to the camp that was kind of the last camp that once it's done, you go to the tournament in December. And I just went there, did my thing. I played great, honestly. And I remember going to my hotel room and just thinking to myself, like, I think I got it. I think I'm gonna be representing Canada in the World Junior. And then I was really sure. And that year they were only taking two goalies. Usually they take three. And then I just got the knock on my hotel door and then telling me to go meet the coach. And then just them telling me they're going to go a different route. I mean, I got to respect it for sure, but I think I was better than at least get the second spot, And
Mhm.
but yeah, but it fueled myself in the Mem Cup. Like I was playing versus Melic, he was playing for Seattle, so playing versus that guy, knowing that
They
he's
picked him.
he, he's a really good guy too. But on the ice, you got to use that fuel motivation. Say, hey, that guy fucking stole my spot. But played two times in the Mem Cup and beat him in for sure. He's a pretty good goalie, so it was hard beating him, but got him two times, so it felt good for sure.
It
Amazing.
seems like you handled that exactly how you should. Did you have any doubt creep into your mind after that? Or was it just like I full conviction, believe in myself, good to go?
Yeah, I can't say no doubt, but I was kind of mad not going there because I would really appreciate that feeling representing my country there. But it took me like maybe 2 weeks, and then my goalie coach at the time, Pascal Lizotte, told me, "Hey, Will, sometimes hockey goes that route, but you got to use that as motivation." And then once that 2 weeks was done, and just getting right back at it, and competing in practices, and then seeing the results going 2 games, and then hopefully at the end we won the cup over there. So it was, yeah, pretty fun.
Got rewarded in the end.
That's right.
Ruth, that's unbelievable, bro. Something you said, I just want to point out. You were mad. And I think the biggest difference between people that believe in themselves versus people that don't is when something bad happens to them, they get mad instead of sad. When you don't really believe that maybe you could have got it, you get sad. Whereas I think if you truly are confident in yourself and you believe that that should be your spot, you get mad and you use that as fuel, right?
You're in good spot. You're in good spot for sure. I mean, if you're mad about something, you always like you can't be too mad for something. At the end of the day, it's hockey, but it's your life. And when you start like getting your mind programmed, because it becomes so much mental when you grow up, and then everybody's pretty good. And when you get your mind into it and then get that switch up, and then something that doesn't satisfies you in your game or something, you become a bit mad, and impacts you in a good way. So in practices, you use it, and then you get better every day. So yeah, I love that comment. Yeah.
Fucking right. So my last one, just to wrap it up here. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your first year pro other than don't fuck around at the card table?
Fuck. I'll probably go with that was a good one, Platch.
So many
I
ticks.
I'd probably say the longevity, like the
Longevity.
Longevity.
longevity. That's right. So my Quebec accent fucked me there. But yeah, throughout the season, getting all the food in you and being a pro, cooking for yourself, and then getting all the nutriments at the end of the season, it pays off for sure. So yeah, so probably that.
Fucking rights, Roos. Well, that's all we got for you, bro. We appreciate you taking the time and coming on here at 8 in the morning. Little coffee with the fellas, bro. Thank you so much, Roos.
Yeah, that was really
Appreciate it.
nice. Thanks for having me, guys.
What a guy, eh?
Unreal, man. What a impressive hobby. Not too many guys flying planes in their free time.
Dude, he's legit one of a kind. I told you. You see this guy, you smile. How about the way he started the interview? Yeah, I'm naked right now, but I got a polo on. Just an absolute legend, man. Seriously.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
But now, Z-Man, we're giving the people what we want. We're doing 2 interviews per episode. And I mean, this is 1A, 1A is what we call these 2 interviews. Because coming up, we got Ethen Frank. For those who don't know Ethen Frank, he's the fastest man alive. He's a pure goal scorer. And after 3 seasons in the American Hockey League, he got his first call up to the NHL this year. He played his first 24 games with the Washington Capitals and just signed a 2-year extension. Joining us to complete the hat trick on the Buzz Pod is my man, Ethen Frank. Perfect timing. What's up, Frankie?
What is up, boys?
There he is.
How we doing?
Good,
We're
brother. How
doing
you
it.
doing?
Doing all right, man. Life's chaotic right now for us, but we're getting through it.
You're
Yeah.
moving from 2 apartments. That's what happens when you play for 2 leagues.
First time ever, man. It was chaos.
Oh,
Dude, that is unbelievable. We're actually gonna start like right away because I told
Let's do
you
it.
we're doing some shorter epies.
Yeah.
Coming off your 3rd pro season, Frankie, and it's your first NHL call up. You play your first 24 NHL games. I mean, talk about getting that call, man, going up there and making your NHL debut. Try to describe that feeling for us.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. So we were in Charlotte, probably 10 minutes away from getting on the ice for practice. And I get a call, like one of the coaches comes in and is like, hey, like come in the office, we got to show you something quick. And I walk in and they have like video on the screen. And one of the assistant coaches is like kind of giving me a hard time. He's like this clip, like you really got to be better than this. Like this is really bad. And like you could tell he's trying to hold back a smile. So I kind of knew he was messing with me. And I looked over and the head coach is kind of smirking. He's like, "You're getting called up to the NHL, man." And I was like, "No way!" Like I had my gitch on and everything. Like I was ready to get on the ice for practice. He's like, "You're going to the NHL." I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So
oh
I
shit.
go, I go change and like give everybody like daps and see like hugs goodbye or whatever, and then call my parents, call my agent, told Kate, and then yeah, just got my stuff and got the truck to the airport. And within I think 2.5 hours, I was down in DC and at the hotel. So it all happened really quick, and then the debut was crazy. Like it, everybody always talks about the debut being, you know, you can't really explain it. The feelings are just like you can't find the words for them, and that's pretty much how it was for me. I wasn't really expecting it, and then just being like in the locker room with like all the big name guys like Wilson, Ovi, Carlson. Like obviously there's a lot in Washington, like Chikrin, like really cool group of guys, and yeah, it was really special. I think that I don't know if I've ever had more caffeine in my life before that game, but yeah, no, it was a fun night, and yeah, something I'll never forget.
Dude, that's insanity. And, actually, you got to spend some time in what looks like the funnest locker room in the NHL, right? Like those clips were coming out all season about
Dance, make a dance.
yeah,
Yeah, oh
Make a
yeah,
dance.
every
so
game,
so
every
just
game.
talk about, right, like you're going into the NHL, it's probably a lot of emotions, but then going into the NHL with that group of guys, I'm sure in some ways made it easier, in some ways made it a little more intimidating. Just talk about like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the guys that helped smooth the transition over was Duham. Actually, he was a lot really helpful. He lived just a couple doors away from me. We carpooled a little bit when I first got there, and yeah, he helped a lot. But there's the amount of names, like hockey players will come up with a name for anything, right? Like we'll come up with stupid stuff all the time, and there's a name for everything in that locker room. And so it took me probably a week and a half to figure out like what was actually going on. And yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Those guys are like, it's honestly like kids in adult bodies. Like they don't care about anything but having fun with each other, and that obviously translated on the ice. So yeah, it was pretty special to see that because there's not a lot of groups, obviously, at the pro level. Like guys are concerned about themselves and their families, obviously, and that's fine. But there's just not a lot of groups like that that are as tight knit as that and have as much fun and just kind of act like jackasses all the time. And it's just hilarious.
Direct
That's a great
translation.
success.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the best. Talk about scoring your first NHL goal, man. Congrats. Sick goal, by the way. Outside stick, pick it up with speed, puck protected, and then slip it 5-hole. How sick.
Yeah, no, it was just like, and like just the normal set breakout. I went back and realized I was supposed to be like more on the wall. It came up the dot lane, and as I kind of faded towards the walls when the D got his head up, so I just put my stick out there, and thankfully the D kind of took a wide route to try and close it off, and I was able to keep possession of that and not just tip it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, just trying to get a shot on that. I knew he had a 2-on-1. I am not a very good passer, so I didn't even try and look for pass. I was trying to go far pad actually, and yeah, I think I just caught the goalie by surprise because I had an open blade because the puck was rolling and tried to like scoop it, and, like roll it over so it was flat. And, yeah, it went in. I didn't really know until like everybody else kind of gave up. Like I made it all the way around the net. I was like, oh my god, I went in. That's wild.
And then you're just cheesing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was geeking so hard because Radish bent down to pick up the puck, and I was just standing there right next to him, just like, let's go.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you still using that P14 curve?
Sure am, yeah.
Wow. And so you're one of the few guys I know that has picked a curve, a kind of rare one too, like not a
Yeah.
backstrom, and just you've stuck with that curve since you were 15 or even before. But when I was playing with you when you were 15, you had that curve.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I've tried other curves, and I just can't. This is not the same for me, so I just can't switch. I've tried a few other ones, tried a few Bauer and CCM curves, and it just wasn't the same for me. And so yeah, I just got the blade as big as possible because it's a pretty tiny blade, and
That's what I was gonna say
stuck
is
with it.
did you get that adjusted to be like kind of a fatter blade because it is a bit of a toothpick?
Yeah, yeah. I tried to. It's definitely still very small compared to other guys who have max height blades or whatever, but it's a lot bigger than what it was, and so I just kind of use it and go with the flow with that because I love it. I can't shoot the same with any curve or like sauce the puck or get pucks off the wall the same with any other curve. So yeah, I just stuck with it. Didn't want to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's awesome. Sometimes guys look to change too much where
Yeah, for
sticking with
sure.
what you know is best.
Like Duham, we were just talking. That guy goes through a different stick or a different curve probably every other day. It was hilarious. I think he had like 7 or 8 other guys sticks in his stall at one point. Like he was just going through it, just figuring out what he liked and what he didn't.
But the way that guy plays, you can give him a piece of wood. He go out there and do some.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a dog on a bone out there without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Frank, what's your pregame routine? Has it changed, or have you kind of always kept it the same? I know it intakes about 400 milligrams of caffeine, but you a sewer ball player?
Yeah.
Are you still doing some of the blatchy ones that you did back in the day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I still the stretch. I'll never forget the stretching routine you told me to do when we were in Colorado College. When I was still at Western, I still do that every day. But yeah, no. Once I get to the rink, I'll take my stick. Obviously, indulge in the caffeine, and then I'll go stretch. It's usually just me and Protus in the gym. A couple of guys that come in when we're finishing up, but yeah, I'll go stretch, and then we'll have PK meeting, and then team meeting, and then play sewer from probably there's about 20 minutes roughly before the clock starts, and then I'll play till about 40 minutes on the clock, and then I'll go in the gym. I'll rip out some hex bar deadlifts and some jumps. I'll do 3 sets of that, and then I'll just go get ready.
Nice. Sounds pretty similar to mine. A little activation after sewer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get the blood flowing. Really start sweating a little bit before you get on the ice.
Who's the best sewer player on the team?
Protus or Ovi probably get the most wins. There's a couple guys that think that guys just give them the wins, but they're just so good. Like they kick the ball so hard, you just can't. There's no way to get it back to them. And so yeah, it's just usually a win. But I like to think of myself as a pretty good sewer player. I'm probably on average a top 5 finisher.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's some good players like Rasmus Sandin has some crazy like taekwondo kicks with the ball where it's just like it's unbelievable to like how he gets it and how hard he can kick it. Swedes are a different breed, man. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Euros are different with the soccer ball. I have a
Yeah.
question about NHL Sewer. If you get sewered, do you have to keep your feet planted or can you dodge it completely?
That was a big controversy. There's a lot of like fake sewers, like it'd show like they were gonna boot it at you and then didn't, and the guys would like jump out of the way and then they would be out. But I don't know. They had a couple times I think guys got hit in the face from like a sewer, and so we put like a speed limit on it so you couldn't like fucking just really kick it. But yeah, no, I think it kind of depends on the situation and probably who was involved more than anything.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of how it is everywhere. That rule is like a rule that is unknown.
Gray area.
Like
Yeah.
every
Oh
team
yeah.
you go to, they're like, "Oh no, you got to keep your feet planted. Oh no, you got it. You can dodge it." Like
Yeah.
it's the most controversial rule in hockey, probably.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the vets would be upset if you didn't make an attempt for the ball, even if it was kind of hard. So it just kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah. You're giving full effort though. For
Yeah,
sure.
every
You're
time
getting every
I'm
ball.
leaking when we're done with sewer. I'm leaking.
Yep. So Frankie, I got a question. You're a goal scorer. What do you do when you hit a dry streak of a couple games, if you ever had?
Oh yeah, I sure have. Really just not do anything crazy. Go back to the basics. Like in my mind, it starts in the D zone. Like if I'm good, in the D zone, we play man on man. So like if I'm shoulder checking and following my guy around the ice at good spots, getting pucks off the wall and making quick passes, I think that's where it starts. And then everything like once that starts going well, then you kind of build momentum as the game goes on. But yeah, the biggest thing for me is just staying out of your own head. Like everybody goes through a little bit of a drought. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to score every game. You're not going to score every other game. Probably the only guy in the world, Ovechkin, probably never went on a drought. So there's not a lot of guys that don't go on droughts, and so it happens to everybody. Like it's just part of the game. It's something like seasons are long. You get in the dog days, and like it's tough. Like get the random Tuesday game on the road and a back to back. You're like, ah, shit. So like just staying out of your own head for me and playing simple is really the way that I try to build momentum for myself.
Yeah, so just simplify your game as much as you can and just
For sure.
harp
Yeah.
on the
The D
little
zone.
things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And even like sometimes if it's like bad and I'm inside my own head, I'll get like pissed off and just start going and hitting and like getting more engaged actively and like moving my feet more all over the ice and just kind of playing pissed off a little bit. And I found that to work pretty well too.
Cool. I'm taking notes.
We
Yeah.
had we
Because you get like the 1 or 2 D that like actually shuts you down like every time you get it and you're like, all right, I've had enough of this guy. And so you go and hit him a couple times, you're like, it's my puck, like give me that thing back. And yeah, I think just having a little bit more like that fuck you in your game can go a long way for sure.
you are the second guest that has said that when they play mad, they play better. Our
Yeah.
last guest, William Rousseau, goalie, he said the same thing. He said,
Mhm.
I get mad plays way better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I listen to some hood rat music before and get in my gangster mode, and then yeah, you get a little pissed off, and yeah, it's good to go.
Hey, were you there for Ovi's record breaking game?
I was.
Were you in the lineup that game?
I was not.
Okay, so you weren't able to flood the ice.
No, we did eventually, but we didn't want to ruin our suits, so we waited a little bit.
That's fair. How was that celebration?
It was unbelievable, man. You would have thought that like we won the Stanley Cup. It was really cool. Like not literally like there wasn't music blasting because we lost the game or anything like that, but you walked in the room and everybody had a beer that they dumped on Ovi and beers all around, and like the amount of people that were in that locker room was like a fire hazard for sure. Like there's probably 100 people in our locker room, and it was really cool to see some of the people too, like the Cash Patel, the director of the FBI, was there.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Gretzky was there. Like there were some really cool people to see, and yeah, it was special. But probably the coolest part was just watching that happen because like it almost didn't even like sink in that it was like this guy. Like nobody ever thought that record was going to be broken, and so it's like wow, like this guy actually just did it, man.
Dude, I
Um,
remember. Sorry,
no, you're good.
that's sick. I remember people talking before the season, like, "Oh, Ovi's gonna have to play 2 or 3 more years to break the record. He can't do it this year."
Yeah,
Crushed.
jokes on them. And he
Yeah.
missed like what 3 or 4 weeks with
Yeah,
a
he
broken
broke his
leg. Like,
leg. He broke
yeah.
his leg, bro.
And we were talking too, like if the lockout didn't happen, like he probably would have already beat it.
For sure.
Like I can't remember what year that was, but like that was right when he entered the league, and like he was hot back then. So like he probably would have broke it years ago if that didn't happen.
For sure.
Man, talk about seeing a guy, because Frankie, you're a goal scorer. Talk about seeing a guy of that age just still have that little kid in him, like for scoring goals. Like it just never gets old.
It's unbelievable, man. Even in practice, like he's putting his fucking hands up and shit. Like it's awesome. Like that's one guy that really appreciates scoring goals and probably never took it for granted. Like he absolutely loves it and knows that like that's his job, and so he loves to do his job. I don't think there's been a handful of times where I see it like a bouncing puck and he'll just like knock it down while it's still rolling and fumbling and knock it down and like off one leg, like short side high. And it's like, dude, what? I can't even do that in a video game. Like, how do you do that? And I don't
What
know. I don't know if the curve helps corral the puck or like what happens with it, but that guy can zing a puck.
what is he using for curve? Is it something that you don't really see in the store?
Yeah, no, I don't think that you can get it anywhere really because his sticks have his logo on it, and there's no like branding on it. And then on the back of the stick in like white letters, it just says Pro Stock intended for OV use only. So it's like
Oh
it's
my
literally
God.
it's his own
So
stick. Like I have
so
no
if
idea
you
who makes
have
it or
so
what.
so if you're a little kid out there and you just bought an Ovi stick and it doesn't say on the back intended for Ovi use only, then you just got a regular stick from the store. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, probably. If I had to guess, yeah, I haven't been in a store like to look at sticks in I don't know probably 7 years, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would have to doubt that Brands would be just dishing that curve out because that's a wild curve.
Yeah. No, no.
It's honestly, you remember the crazy OV curve?
Yeah.
It's really similar to that.
Oh,
Really
really?
similar to that. Yeah, yeah. It's almost on par with that. Maybe a little less open, a little more closed, but yeah, no, it's pretty on par with that.
That's actually wild that he can stick handle with that.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
What did you find was the biggest difference between the NHL and the AHL?
Probably all like the mental stuff, like knowing where to be and when to be there, and just like under like the hockey IQ, like just knowing the game and being able to read a play before it happens it was just like next level. Like in the American League, it's pretty good, obviously, but there's still guys every once in a while. It's like running around out of position. There's a wide open lane somewhere, and yeah, in the NHL, like the guys are in position all the time, and there's not a lot. Like it looks on TV like there's a lot of time and space, but like not really because there's not a lot of options open. So it's on you to make your own option or somebody else to get open, you know? So, yeah, that was probably the biggest part. It wasn't a lot faster. Maybe just puck play was because there was more like possession and not so much like chip and chase or dumping or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I think that was what I realized was like, oh, like these guys don't mess up. Like they're always where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. Like this is wild. It's
Yeah.
almost like a perfect game because they're just always right there where they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to do. So it's kind of hard to get your head around because it's tough.
Yeah. Subtle
So
difference, but big.
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
you you just signed your first are you sorry. You just signed a 2-year extension. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is one thing in specific that you're kind of working on this summer in order to be a full-time NHLer next season?
A lot of stuff is going to be wall play and like possession down low in the O zone. There's a few things to like neutral zone, like body position and like timing, getting to the wall and whatnot. But for the most part, it'll be a lot of wall play. Yeah, and down low. So the D slam down so hard, and if you chip it, you're just chipping it to their F3. It's like you got to be able to make a play, whether it's the chipping it to your winger or finding the center in the low middle or hitting the far side D. Like there's just a lot of options that are there, but when you're playing, like they're not there. You don't see them. So that'll be probably the main focus so far until I feel pretty comfortable with that. Then I'll find something else to work on.
80% of the game is played on the walls. And
Yeah.
I rarely hear guys say, yeah, this summer I'm going to work on wall play.
Oh yeah. Oh
Dude, the
yeah.
whole game is on the wall. The puck is moving fast. To be able to pick it off the yellow and make a play is a
Hmm.
man skill.
Especially if it's rolling or if it's got a ton of spin on it. Like you get it off the wall and it just shoots right between your feet or bounces over your stick. Like it's really tough. And a lot of guys underestimate that skill.
Sure, for sure.
For sure. And you work on that, it becomes second nature. Like even I remember like going into my first pro year, like I would even think about catching passes, and that's when you'd miss them. Where like if you just like get so good at wall play that you don't even have to think about it when it's happening,
Yeah.
and you're just and then it's just
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how it
And
works.
that's probably the hardest part is being able to like catch it while you're almost not looking at it because you're trying to see what's going on around you. And so like working on stuff like that is huge. And a lot of people just kind of look past it because you just have to do it anyway. So it just looks like it's normal. But it's really tough to do.
Yeah, no, that's an unbelievable answer, Frankie. I mean, you already got the speed. If I was answering that question, I'd say get faster, but you're good on
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just work on your wall play, brother. That's unbelievable.
Still going to work on getting faster, but the main focus will for sure be wall play.
Yeah, I mean, you're always working on it all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But thanks for coming on, bro. That was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Great
man.
chatting with you. Great catching up.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking Washington Capital, baby.
But yeah, man, we're trying for it. That's for sure. We're not too far off, but hopefully it goes well over the summer and in training camp. And yeah, we're excited for next year for sure.
Awesome. Number 53 too. That's a sick
Yeah,
number.
crazy number.
I use that in Rimouski, so
Did you?
oh
Nice,
yeah. Oh yeah.
nice. I got to keep it now.
My pro debut, I wore 53. My
Did
first
you?
goal, I wore 53 for the Chicago.
Let's go.
Nasty.
Let's go.
Thanks for coming on, Frank. You're the fucking
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I hope to see you guys this summer.
Yes, sir.